Hello, my brothers and sisters, and welcome to podcast number 8, which is intended to provide you with the information you need to cast an informed ballot on Tuesday, February 5th, when you will be voting on whether or not to ratify the tentative agreement negotiated between PCTA and the Pinellas County School District. This agreement took 9 months of intense and sometimes spirited bargaining to reach a final agreement. I would like to thank the PCTA bargaining team for all the work they have done on this, and to remind everyone that the bargaining team is made up of members who volunteer their time. Some sessions lasted late into the evening because of their commitment to our union and the teaching profession. I know the members of PCTA will all cast votes on this important decision, but I ask you to encourage your non-union colleagues to vote as well. We have 7,200 employees in our bargaining unit that would be covered under this contract should it be ratified. If only PCTA members vote, it sends a message to the district that those who are not part of PCTA do not vote because the contract and raises do not matter to them. That they would be content with whatever wages and benefits the district wishes to give them. Now we all know that this is not the truth. However, it will weaken our position at the bargaining table next year if the district has cause to think it's true. So please, let's all do our part to make this the largest voter turnout ever. You will hear people argue over how well the bargaining team did or didn't do. It is a fact of life that you won't be able to please everyone. And some people are never going to give your union credit for anything positive. These people are what Theodore Roosevelt referred to as the critic in one of his famous writings. Those, he said, who confine themselves to criticism of the way others do what they themselves dare not attempt. It's not the critic who counts. It is those of us who fight to protect public education and defend our profession, even though 45% of our colleagues sit on the sidelines and watch us do the heavy lifting. So please ignore these cynical critics who try to downplay what we do. Whether we win or lose doesn't really matter, because our place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat. I can say with confidence that there is no reason anyone should view this new contract as anything less than a victory for all of us. Yes, it is true that the raises are modest, but given the fact that the district received a whopping 47 cents per student increase in the operating budget, I would say that getting the district to reach into their pockets and spend over $14 million in raises, health benefits, and the retirement system is not too shabby. People like to think back to the days of the big bump from years ago. The fact is that one big bump was accompanied by a ton of ridiculously low bumps of as little as $300 over a 2-year period. I doubt anyone really wants to return to those days. So let's talk bottom line. How much money do I get? Well, if you're on the grandfathered schedule, you get $1,250. People always complain that the percentage raise is lower if you're at the top of the scale, but in order to give everyone the same percentage, we would need millions more or greatly reduce the raises for our younger teachers. Everyone is working hard and surviving unprecedented levels of stress. The total increase over last year for those on the grandfathered schedule will be $1,434. That includes a $184 referendum increase that you've already received. If you're on the annual contract performance schedule and you're highly effective, it's a $1,251 bump. State law mandates that a highly effective teacher on the performance schedule receives a dollar amount greater to the largest bump on the grandfathered schedule. The total increase for highly effective annual contract teachers, including referendum, is $1,435. If you are an effective teacher, rated effective on the annual contract performance schedule, the raise is $938. The total increase over last year for effective annual contract teachers, including referendum, is $1,122. For any teacher who is on an annual contract and rated less than effective, the law mandates that they do not receive a raise at all. PCTA has negotiated a way around that by negotiating a $469 cost of living adjustment. The total increase over last year for teachers who are rated less than effective, including the referendum, is $653. The increase in referendum of $184 has already become part of your pay starting the beginning of this school year. This year, the referendum that PCTA takes the lead on passing, even going so far as to hire a campaign manager to ensure it passes every 4 years. That referendum makes up $4,000, or over $4,000 of every teacher's pay. Every member of the bargaining unit should have access to a red-lined copy of the tentative agreement. The colors indicate new language or language moved from another section of the previous contract. Everyone must be made to see the work of the bargaining team, thus the colors. They need to understand that articles of the contract have been changed in favor of educators because PCTA made it so. Without PCTA, there is no contract, and raises are take it or leave it. Non-members should read the contract and then imagine life without it. If there is no union, there is no contract. Just ask any teacher in Wisconsin. A final clean-cut version will undergo grammatical, housekeeping, formatting, and cosmetic changes before we go to print. But the language and its intent will remain unchanged from the version you all will be voting on. The ratification vote is on February 5th. Everyone should vote. I don't want anyone to think that educators do not value their contract or that working conditions and raises do not matter. Only by voting en masse can we make the district understand how much their educators care. There are a great many small changes and a few larger ones that I am hopeful will have the cumulative effect of relieving some of the stress that has plagued educators. I hope you will agree and vote yes to ratify this tentative agreement and give us a better contract than we have had in a long time. I want to thank you and see you next time.